Yeah, 11 simple arts and skills that everyone should have. Should be common, but maybe someone wants to learn or improve in any of the 11 that we shall discuss. So the agenda will be just like that, and in no specific order we shall tackle any of those, but we shall make sure we tackle all. So starting from the power of letting go to setting boundaries. So in any case, I do not dive deeply into any of these topics. Please, you can now comment in the comment section of any that you would feel me to, go deep into. But I think I will give you enough content that you can build on to make yourself better. So the 11, you can improve on one or all, but it's better if you have all. Now here we go with the first one, the power of letting go, when and why it's necessary. So we shall look at why letting go is hard. For example, the fear of the unknown. Many people fear to regret, the emotional attachment, the sense of failure. And in this video, if you really think I'm moving very fast, feel free to come back and pause the video, or maybe come back later and try to get the content in here. So then when to let go, for example, if you're in a toxic relationship, if you feel there is more pain than happiness, unrealistic expectations, maybe you've been aiming at something and you're not achieving, it could be a job, it could be a relationship, it's time to let go and believe in the higher intelligence and what plans for you. Yeah, steps to let go gracefully include acknowledging your feelings, focusing on the present, and creating a closure. So you can write a letter, but in all, make sure everything is at peace. So practice forgiveness and focus on what you're gaining, not what you're losing. Remember, letting go is not giving up, it's actually creating space for better things. Yeah, so I think, like I said, you can always pause the video and read every word that is written on the slide. But we dive on to the second one, which is silencing your inner critic. The 11, the first one was the power of letting go. The second one is silencing your inner critic. How to stop self doubt. And in this, you need to recognize the negative thoughts. You need to, focus on your strength and replace criticism with affirmations. For example, you should change from I can do this to I'm capable of learning and improving to do this. As simple as that. So in this, you have to set realistic goals, because every time you set a goal and you don't achieve it, you lose the confidence and the motivation to keep going. You need to embrace imperfection, because not always will you win. Yeah, so instead of talking about how many times you failed, talk about how many times you learned. Seek support and yeah, build self compassion, because it should be self love first. Yeah. So the third is everyone should learn how to spot and handle manipulative people. Yeah. So you need to notice the red flags of manipulation, which include gaslighting. Yeah, some people want to twist the truth to make you question your memory or perception. Every time they want to use guilt or fear to control your decisions. Or maybe they want to deflect responsibility by exaggerating their suffering. They sometimes say such things. I'm always the bad guy in your eyes, If you really cared about me, you would do this. Just manipulating you, or through their inconsistent words and actions, the excess pressure and attention they need from you. Yeah, so when you've noticed them, you need to handle them through setting boundaries, detaching emotionally, but staying calm and seeking support if needed. But it all begins with realizing the manipulator, because some are the people that always want attention from us, some are the people that advise us. But yeah, so the fourth skill is how to have difficult conversations without conflict. It's an important one that would help you maneuver through this distracted world. So you need to prepare yourself, choose the right time and place. Start with empathy and respect. Use the I statement instead of using the we. So you can, for example, be like, I feel unheard when I share my thoughts. Yeah. Don't say you never listen to me. No, that seems aggressive. And remember to listen actively. Give them a chance to speak. Summarize or paraphrase what I've said in case you're responding. Stay focused on the issue, seek common ground. Yeah, and make sure you end on a positive note. Always make sure, if necessary, you can pause the video and read all the notes. Don't miss out on anything. The art of apologizing and making amends is the next one. So everyone needs to apologize, to learn how to apologize and make amends. Apologizing at the right time. Yeah. And what makes an effective apology is ownership. Own it. Own the wrong thing you did so that you can improve. Acknowledge, validate the feelings of the other person, Tell them you feel how they are hurt and you regret it, and offer to make things right. You can always ask them, what can I do to fix this? Or promise them, I'll make sure I'll fix this. It doesn't just mean you apologize and let go. No, that doesn't work. And when you've done that, make sure you make the amends for sure. Follow through everything you promise to build that trust and give the other person time and space to heal. Sometimes an apology may not be effective because you presented at the wrong time. So endeavor to be very timely. The sixth skill is how to prioritize what truly matters in life. So in here, we shall tell why prioritization matters, the daily practices we can do, time usage, for example, the 8 to 20 rule, where every 20% of the tasks will yield 80% of the results. Learning how to say no to distractions. I think one of my previous videos was the art of saying no. Yeah, yeah. So all this and the other, this is not an art. It is a science. So the art or science of making habits stick. And the first one is, pairing habits with existing routines. And in here, you make sure if for example, you are brushing your teeth, I can use that as an example. Use habit stacking to link a new habit to an existing one. So for example, after brushing your teeth, meditate for 2 minutes. Because the biggest thing is commitment and consistency. So if you start up a habit of, for example, gymming, physical exercises, and you cannot stick to it, or maybe a habit of saying I'm sorry if you're wrong, or if you wrong someone, yeah, all this should be a daily routine, because there are things you must do in a day. Brushing your teeth, make sure there is something you do alongside that. Meditate, taking a cup of water every morning. Remove barriers that make bad habits easier to perform. Yeah, start small. As always, I've always told you to start small, but make sure you start. And also remember, smaller wins build a momentum and create foundations for big habits. So start small, small, small things, then just make sure you're consistent in them. Yeah, so those micro habits are very easy to implement. That is why I say there are small wins. An example is, for example, instead of committing each to an hour of exercise, you can start with 5 minutes. Yeah, focus on the identity over outcomes. This surely should work for you because sometimes you need to learn the outcomes of the activity, but drive you to they shouldn't be the key thing as to you know why you're doing it. So you should focus on the identity, like because at the beginning I think I was supposed to tell you that some habits work in a special way. For example, there is what triggers you to do something. So if what triggers you to do something still exists, then you always do it. If there is a routine, the behavior you perform always, then maintain, then the benefit or the satisfaction gained. So don't just focus on the outcome, also focus on what triggers you to do it. The routine, that is what you do daily, the behavior, and then the reward. And remember to make a habit stick, you ensure all the three are clear and consistent. Get accountability partners, maybe it is jogging around in the evening, find a friend, do it together, use the environmental design, Uh, one of the activities that I like doing when I'm free is naming different things in the society and giving them different names, challenging my brain always. So if it is a book, I can say, oh, that's a brick, you know. And yeah, I have to pause and I'm like, oh, there is no, I should not have patterns in it. So I shouldn't say a brick or soil or sand, no, or salt, sugar. No. So if I've said sugar, then the next one should be like phone, you know. The environment within us can also help us stick to habits. So the eighth is discovering your purpose through prayer and reflection. So you have to reflect on your life experiences. One, you know your purpose because sometimes what brings joy and fulfillment to you is maybe what you're meant to do. Also consider the challenges you've overcome and how they have helped you maybe to get where you are. Reflect on feedback from others as well. Someone says, oh, but you can be a better poet, or you know, maybe you are good at instructing. Look for alignment. Identify how your passion aligns the needs of the community. Watch for signs of opportunities. Confirm your purpose, you know. And then when you've done this, take an action, please. Begin living your purpose through your skills, start projects, volunteering, internships. However, stay flexible, allowing God to reveal more as you progress. And remember, it's discovering your purpose through prayer. So now let's see how about through prayer. So, and in that we shall find praying consistently and reflecting on your life experiences. Explore the scripture, Jeremiah 29:11, Psalms 139:14. Yeah, quiet your mind. Always have silent moments. You know, reflect, think, meditate, and at the end of it, they'll take an action. So, number nine is the life of not seeking validation from others. So, everyone needs to get this at the life of not seeking validation from others. Remember, you do not need any person's approval to validate your greatness. So why you crave validation is, yeah, the human nature, over dependence, and remember it limits authenticity. Maybe your early experiences of your secondary or maybe high school teachers, you know, approval from parents, teachers. So every time you do things, you need them to see. Social media, you know, where the likes equate to the worth and that mindset. So even before you leave your room, you have people to first confirm you're smart. And so how to overcome it? Have small wins to celebrate. Limit comparisons. Remember that success doesn't diminish you. So please, you don't need any validation from anyone. Focus on your inner confidence. Determine your self-worth. Yeah, focus on your personal growth and engage in activities that make you feel proud if you can, because those are the activities you can do. Number 10 is understanding why comparing yourself to others is a losing game. So you shouldn't compare yourself to others. The better person to compare yourself with is the previous you, the past you. I know social media makes it easy to feel like you're not enough. I know for sure. But then remember, the only person you need to compete with is who you are. And in this, you need to know that there is much harm in comparison. It leads to feelings of inadequacy and resentment, and it distracts you from unique strength. It steals joy and undermines progress for sure. So then, what do we do then? How do we break the habits? Practice gratitude. Compete with yourself alone. Please have some breaks in the video and read these special statements. I just can't read them all. Celebrate your unique journey. Focus on your progress. And the 11th, the last one is setting boundaries without burning bridges. And how do we do this? Is by being clear and direct about your limits, for sure. Communicate with kindness. Please tell them that maybe you would have loved to be with them, but maybe you reserved the weekend for yourself, or you can't take more in right now. Stay firm, but open to discussion, please, because most of the times you feel isolated or maybe being pushed back, but reassure others that it's not about rejecting them, but rather honoring yourself. Yeah, so I think this is like a summary of each, but that was it, from the power of not letting go, silencing your inner critic, and up to setting boundaries. Some of these should be with you at any time of your life. So if you want me to dive deeper into any of these topics, feel free. But otherwise, yeah, that's it from me. Thank you so much.